Good morning, YouTube. Now, usually on my channel, I discuss politics because politics interests me. It always has. That's one of the things that happen to you when you grow up in Washington, D.C. It's like, that's the local sports team, and you follow the local sports team. But my real love is science in the future. And this week I stumbled across something that got me excited, and I'm decided that I'm going to go ahead and document it here. And that is a new state of matter called, what is it called? It's a quark gluon plasma. Okay, and it's now the fifth state of matter. Before we had solid, liquid, gas, plasma. Now we've got this QGP plasma, whatever you want to call it. And this was discovered recently over in CERN, Switzerland, with their Hadron Collider. And so what happens is just to do a review, we know that a solid is when the atoms of the molecules are locked in a lattice work, okay, and they're stable. And then a fluid is when it's got enough energy to where these molecules or atoms are vibrating to the point where they're not restricted by the lattice work anymore, but they're still kind of close to each other. And then the gaseous form is when they get enough energy, or they're vibrating sufficiently enough where they're just floating around all by themselves. And then, of course, a plasma is when there's so much energy that the molecules break down into their component atoms and they lose their electrons. Okay, well, in this fifth state of matter, the atoms melt pretty much. The protons and neutrons come apart, and on top of that, then they melt, and now you have a sea of quarks, because as we all know, each neutron and proton is made up of 3 quarks, and depending on what the recipe is, depends on whether or not it's going to charge or not. But so if that wasn't exciting enough, okay, you can take these quarks in this plasma and you can fuse them together. Okay, and guess how much energy comes out? You get about a 10% conversion. So about 10% of the mass is converted to energy. Now, let's compare this to regular old fusion. Okay, like they're working on over at Lockheed Martin. You get 1% conversion with that reaction. Okay, and then with the fission, you're getting 0.1 conversion. Yes, can you see how much more efficient this process is? And by the way, I do believe that once we get the fusion reaction chamber figured out and working, there's no reason why we couldn't use this plasma. Instead, we just got to turn up the heat a little bit. Think about that. Oh, yeah, so I'm excited. And so that's why I wanted to document it here, because with that kind of power, we can solve a lot of problems. Or better yet, we can begin expanding. Imagine if we had those kind of power plants. We could dominate the solar system. Exactly. Anyway, so that's the video for today, is how me being excited about this new type of plasma and the potential we have to harness it and make it work for us. Anyway, that's it. No negativity today. Enjoy your day.